All right. Yes, I am live. Hello, hello. I look forward to whoever is going to hop on. And oh boy, this is later than I usually have the live. Hi, Vibe Freak. So glad you're here. Absolutely, bang. And so I do admit this is one of these. This was one of these crazy days where ego ego got the best of me. It's one of those, and then just some things going on and stuff like that, especially with the kids being busy, and things like those. But the wonderful thing with healing is that, oh, and business, I'm not going to go into too much details, not in this moment. But the wonderful thing that I do have to say with healing is that anytime, even yourself, if you go through a moment where ego gets the best of you, because ego is a part of us, it's not something either one of us are immune to. And depending on what you're healing and what you're going through, it comes in really strong, and it starts to lessen. The strength of it lessens as you're healing and with time, which is so wonderful. So when I get hit with these moments, I will tell you, okay. You said we're all living life. We know. I felt like sharing it, just to let everyone know that you're normal when you go through these experiences, and to really not be hard on yourself. I can say that, but don't be hard on yourself. How easy is that, right? But what I find is with healing, it's possible where you're not hitting things are not hitting you as hard, and then it becomes smoother and smoother and easier, and you're able to get past those moments faster. And so that's what happened. And I'm here now. I'm super excited. I'm feeling pretty good. And things like that. And not to mention my all kinds of stuff. But I wasn't feeling very well, but now I am. And I'm here. And I'm definitely here. And I look forward to this topic. This is one that's not discussed very much. I'm just looking at my eyeshadow, right? This is one that isn't discussed very much. And it's the extra, I call it extra phenomenal things that go on in a twin flame connection, right? That we don't talk about, or that you don't hear about. So many things happen in this connection. And I'll start by sharing my experience. But before I go into that, I do want to announce my master class that is taking place tomorrow. It's going to be at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're watching the replay of this after the master class, there's another one that will be scheduled several months from now. The link for it will be there. This is a master class you really don't want to miss. Okay, you don't want to miss it. Because and the master class is, and I had requested my assistant to be here so she can post a link. I guess I forgot to let her know. She may not be aware that I'm live now with all the things that have been going on. But this master class is Stronger Together, the master class on healing and building a lasting connection. It's a long title, but the title is in the link below, in the comment section below. I did put it there, and the link to register. This is going to be tomorrow. With this connection, I want to say I've been doing this for a really long time, and I have seen the things that work and don't work when it comes to this connection. One of them is avoiding yourself, your feelings, and what's really going on inside of you. And so you hear the information about aligning with yourself, balancing your energy, aligning with soul, and the universe talks to you and tells you, this is your person. So you're doing all kinds of things, or perhaps you're delaying the things that you need to be doing to experience reunion. But what we don't hear about often is the fear that goes along in this connection. It's a very strong connection. When two people meet each other, They haven't quite healed, or maybe someone started healing, who knows? And this isn't every connection. Like, I really don't want you to think this is every twin flame connection, because some people reach out to me and they're like, oh, if it's super easy, it's not a twin flame connection. It's supposed to be hard. No, everyone's journey is different. And depending on how much healing you need and stuff like that is what you're going to experience in the connection, or how far you're meant to go in your ascension process. Because if you're meant to go really high, then the level of healing can be super intense for you and for this person. Okay. And so I'm not making it like I'm a total expert and I'm above and beyond everyone. But what I do know is it's not with every connection, but it is with most connection. All right. And so, two people come together, fear kicks in, they hurt each other. Both people hurt each other, not just one. Both people hurt each other and go off their distance. And now there's the expectation of coming back together. Everything's also in dandy when it's not. Okay. And there's all kinds of information out there that doesn't address the pain in the connection or the fears, doesn't go into the fears and what to do with them. Okay. If you have had the experience, I know I did, I talk about the experiences that I've had. If it resonates with you, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And so if you've had the experience of being around your twin flame, let's say you run into each other and it feels weird, it feels awkward, and you don't know how to say hi and all this kind of stuff, it's usually because of unprocessed stuff, whether it's emotions, fears, whatever it is, that's still lingering on in your connection. And it stays there unless you take care of it, unless you address it and you really look into it. So if you've had the experience where you're like, I really want to be with my twin, but I don't know, I'm afraid of this connection, I'm afraid what's going to happen, but you know what, I have to align and balance my energy, but I'm kind of really worried about what the future looks like, then this is definitely the masterclass for you. Okay, that it's a weird feeling when I'm around my twin. They leave, they'll talk to everybody else in the room and things like those. Yes, there's energy, but there's also some unhealed, unprocessed things that are going on inside of you, and your body is trying to let you know that. And your connection with your twin is trying to let you know that. Like, there's something within the connection and so on. So this is what we're going to talk about. If you've had extreme pain in the connection, I know I did, crying intense and stuff like that, and how you can heal those and heal anything else that, yes, there's healing involved. You heard me say it. I said heal. Anything that's in that, I want to say things like overthinking, overworrying, or what else? The triggering, feeling triggered and being reactive to triggers. All of this kind of stuff goes in on this connection. The connection triggers you to awaken you, but triggers can feel very scary and painful, and it may or may not, maybe this isn't you, maybe you reach a space of balance and zen and you're feeling all good and you're ready for this connection, so it's not you. Or you're in the connection, you feel fine, so that's not you. But triggers feel painful, and it's usually accompanied by the ego. You get triggered and the ego says, oh, I don't know, I failed at this again, I'm not good at this, why do they keep doing, are they going to, all this kind of stuff by feeling triggered. So how do you manage that? So all this is in the masterclass, and again, it's not one I'm going to hold very often. So I do have it tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so now let's get back into this. I did mention that I'm going to start with my experience first. Okay, my experience, the extra phenomenal stuff. And I'd love to hear your experience too. So it was in the days when I didn't know anything about twin flame. When I met my twin, I knew nothing about twin flames. I just knew that for some reason he fit the puzzle pieces of my life. It was like things I said, he was showing me. Everything I said in my life, he was showing me in such a short amount of time. Like within 3 weeks was all that we knew each other in the beginning. 3 weeks. And I remember, because the coincidences kept on happening, because the telepathic communication kept on happening. I didn't even know what that was. I didn't even know it was a thing. Keep in mind, I wasn't spiritual. I was still very religious and things like those. Didn't know anything about souls, energy, nothing. I knew nothing except the 3D world, right? And so this stuff kept on happening where I would think something and he would say it either the next day or a few days afterwards. And I was like, at the time, I was with my best friend. We were best friends at the time. The whole awakening changed our dynamic and things like those. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. There's something with this connection. If this thing happens one more time, I'm going to lose my head. And it kept happening. Of course, I did not lose my head. I was just like, what is this? Okay. And then came a spiritual awakening, and I felt really sick. So this is one of the things, but it may not pertain to twin flames, is going through an awakening process, whether it is the spiritual or the Kundalini awakening. And keep in mind, because believe me, someone pointed it out, it's just twin flame. No, it's not. No, it's not. But if you had these awakenings before you met your twin, it's like the door's open and your gifts are strengthening and so on. So the connection either brings it out or strengthens it. Okay. And so the awakening happened and I was feeling really sick. And I remember looking at him like, is this because of you? I really want to feel better. Maybe I just want to call things off because I felt so sick. And he wound up calling things off. And then I looked into twin flames and I looked into what happened. I was like, okay, I get to catch my breath and figure out what on earth just happened to me. So another thing was recognizing a soul. And I'd love for more people to hop on, but since you're the only one here right now, or maybe there are other people, but they haven't commented. Hi, Vibe Freak, certainly share your experiences. I'd love to hear about this. So there was the seeing a soul. Never had I ever thought about a soul. Okay. So I remember with all these experiences going on, I looked into my twin flame, like I was looking into his eyes or something, just looking at him, and I was like, who are you? I didn't see a body. Okay. I saw something in this man's body that didn't feel like it was of this world. And I spoke to it in my mind, really, because I would have came across as a weirdo. Mind you, this was within first 3 weeks. If I had said that to him, he would have been like, what are you talking about? Okay. So I remember just looking like, who are you in this man's body? And I need some explanation here because this felt like too much. It literally felt like my twin had been watching me through my window my entire life because I was seeing my life. I was seeing things about myself that I forgot about. Interest, spirituality that I didn't even think about because I always felt connected to spiritualism somewhat, to astrology and all this kind of stuff. But when this experience happened, I was like, I'm all in. Oh my goodness, I am all in. I saw the person that I was hiding inside of me in front of me. Okay. Because I had came out of a 10-year hurtful connection with my ex karmic soulmate. And you've heard my stories in the past. So I'm not going to throw him much under the bus and that kind of stuff. I'm not here for that. But it was a very hard connection. I lost so much of myself my identity, everything. And then meeting my twin, I saw that in him. Okay. And it was an experience of a lifetime. And for, I say that right. And for many of you, perhaps you felt like you met someone who actually got you. It was like the conversation was smooth. We were laughing at things that I had that my ex really uh, avoided or thought something was wrong, and just feeling fully accepted. So this might have happened with a lot of you where you were just like, this person gets me. Like, I can't believe it. I can be myself. And how good does it feel to be yourself? Speaking of, this is what healing takes you back to. Okay. It brings you back to this particular moment where you're connected with a person who gets you the most. And I know for some of you in this moment, you might be like, 𝐿, they don't get me. They don't get me. With healing, yes, they do. With understanding the connection, yes, your twin does get you. Now, if you ask your twin, depending on the question, the connection, please get me, understand me. How come you don't understand me? Forget it. It's not about that. It's not about talking about it or asking, but recognizing and seeing it. Okay. Someone had mentioned to me, and I have to comment on this because I have to clarify. And this is another thing in my masterclass too, that I'm clarifying a little bit here. Someone said, and bless you, I love the comment. And it's not anything against the comment or anything like that. I'm just clarifying that how wonderful it is to open up to the twin flame, because a lot of coaches will say you can't do that. Okay. I do not recommend this. This is just me. But again, follow your soul until you heal this inside of yourself first. Okay. Until you're hearing yourself. If you still consider yourself a people pleaser, right? You're not in tune with your emotions. You're not sure what they are. And you're not clear on how to express what you're feeling inside of you. And you're afraid to set what you would call boundaries. I call them following your feelings. This is not a moment to go to your twin and be like, okay, here's what I'm feeling. Okay? Because your twin mirrors you. It starts in you first. And it starts with you hearing yourself first and allowing yourself to feel connected, letting people in on the pain that you're feeling inside of yourself so that your twin can sit in that with you. Right? So in you first. If you're still experiencing those other things, it's through my experience, my observations, just not going to work. Okay. So again, that's my masterclass tomorrow. We'll be discussing that. All right. So I see some comments here. I'm excited. I looked into my twin flame's eyes and everything shifted into focus. It was like putting on prescription glasses for the first time. I looked around to see if anyone else saw that, but they were all chilling. Yes, there is that feeling. It's like zoning in with each other and feeling like no one else is there. Okay, it's you and your twin. That, yes, that is something that happens there, and then you gotta like snap out of it, right? And so this is one of those things, and this wasn't the first time I looked at her eyes. It was just a random time. Oh, okay, all right. I feel like I know what you're talking about. Everything shifted into focus. I looked around. Oh, okay. I am wondering if you're referring to this, because this happened to me. Okay. And when you noticed it and your twin was looking in your eyes, your twin noticed it too. Okay. Mutual. It's like in that moment, if this is what you're describing, because it happened to me and it's stuck in my mind forever. That one particular moment when we hadn't really been in communication like that. And I remember looking at him and it was like a flash of who he was to me. And it was like a certain stillness, or you have to experience it to know it. and stuff like that. And I hear it from people too. It was that one particular moment where it's like you see something. Like you said, prescription glasses being put on and something is made clear to you. Okay. And so people pleaser, gotta please those peepers. I love it. I love it. Thank you. I love the laugh. And when the shift happened, I thought it was something that happened in the room. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about some more things. Get ready for this. Get ready for this. There is feeling like your twin is in the same room as you or right next to you, near you somehow. Okay. This is one of those things that happens. And people will ask me, what does that mean? And I'm like, well, you're connecting. You're connected with each other. Perhaps they're thinking about you and you can feel them. And it's likely you're doing the same thing too. Okay. Depending on how observant, how aware your twin is. All right. And then there is communicating with each other without saying any words, finishing each other's sentences just because you really get each other like that. All right. So if your twin finishes your sentence, just let them. Okay. Just do. Remember what I say. Remember this live, right? And then you can say, oh wow, that's what 𝐏𝐿's talking about. So let me have this communication telepathically or something like that. And then there is communication physically. It's like where you can sense what your twin is going through, what their emotions are, what's happening, or even smell. Like if that's one of your stronger psychic senses, you can smell their perfume, their cologne, or if they smoke, you can smell the cigarettes or weed or whatever it is, right? It's like you pick up on that, okay? And let me see. I heard my twin flame's voice while I was meditating. I thought it was someone in the room. Yes, I had that one. I had that one. Oh my goodness. All right, hold on. Take a sip of water. Yes, this was around the time when I started off as a coach. Didn't think about my twin, not that much. I was thinking a little bit, you know. It was one of those things. I just thought it was over. But I always knew there was something about the connection. So I was in my room by myself and I can't remember what I was doing. And I heard his voice clear as day in the room. And I was like, what is that? But at the time, the message I heard was, I'm not going to be with you, not in this lifetime. Okay. Because your energy is too much for me. Something like that. And it sent me crying. But I was just like, wait a second. I wasn't even thinking about the connection like that, but I felt rejected in that moment, you know? No one likes that feeling, right? The feeling of feeling rejected by someone. And it was literally loud, like in my room. And I felt a little scared by that, right? So yes, I remember experiencing that. And I left consciousness in the sixth dimension, left my soul in his vision. Let's go get it. Let's go get it. When I heard the lyrics to Willow Smith's song, I was like, she knows low. Okay. So you left consciousness in the sixth dimension, left your soul in his vision. All right. All right. And there is astral projection if you've experienced that. Especially, I can't describe the astral projections all that much, but like the intimacy, right? The sexual experience, right? That you would feel, that many of you would feel, even when your twin is not physically present, but it feels like you and this person is being intimate with each other. And if you get like a strong surge of, I want to say pleasure and so on. And some of you might be like, okay, what is going on? And then it comes random. Maybe you're at work and you get this surge. Some of you might call it the Kundalini, which is really acting up in the moment. And perhaps it is it's the shared, and I call it the shared energy, that third energy that binds twin flames together. Because some divine masculines, if they were asked, they'll say, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. No, that wasn't me," or something. But it was the energy and the connection that really was driving it, and perhaps not being fully honest about it. And so there is that feeling. And oh, since we're on this topic, my heart goes to the people who can feel their twin when they're with someone else, when they're being intimate. That's painful. Okay. Super painful. So this is another one of those things too. One twin just being sensitive to the energy a lot. Like, for example, if the other twin is around someone karmic and they don't know how to leave that connection, like they're around the karmic person or karmic environment, or their twin is a rock star or a singer, and they are usually among a crowd of people, that twin who is in another place somewhere gets affected by the energy. Okay. And usually when this happens, if the twins are in connection with each other, that twin who's so sensitive will say, "You know what? I can't be around you as long as you're around that person or the audience or something like that, because you're messing me up. It messes up my energy." Okay. So that's again, that's something else that happens. Okay, and Kath said, "The person who seems my twin flame got married this summer. Very challenging to accept, but working on it, hard to understand." Okay, so what are the feelings you're having? And take a look at those. I find the healing is in the feeling. You're saying something, your body is saying something, the ego is saying something. What is it saying? And what does it need from you? And when you begin to really work with that, that's going to help you to release that connection or release anything you may be saying about the connection. Because remember, guys, you want to make sure if your twin is with someone else, you do not feed it energy at all. Don't even repeat. I know you just want to describe it right now, which is okay. You don't want to repeat daily. They chose them. They're living a great life. They're doing all this stuff because it manifests. It leaves your twin feeling stuck, I want to say, in that connection. You might be like, "They're not stuck. They're choosing it." No, 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 no. Universe talks to both of you. Okay? Both aspects of yourself. And so do not feed it energy and work on healing whatever you find yourself saying because of that connection. Okay. So again, my masterclass tomorrow, I'll be discussing that one as well. And so I had an ultra super real dream about her. I truly believe she was literally in this dream. Yes, you got it. So that is another one. And actually, some people on this journey will dream about their twin before ever meeting them. Like when they're young, they'll see an image of somebody, and then when they get older, they're like, "Oh, that person fit that description. That looks like the person that was in my dream." So yes, dreaming about your twin, especially, I find that dreams happen more frequently, not with everyone, with some, as you're entering reunion. Okay, it's like your twin is in your dream more often. And the dreams carry messages too. So, for example, I'll share my experience. I like to put my hair together in the front. I'll share my experience. I had a dream where I saw a couple of dreams. I didn't have many dreams, all right, with my twin in it, but the dreams that I did, he completely avoided me. Okay. And that showed me that I was avoiding myself. So I just give that as an example, but you might have a different scenario. Your intuition tells you what's going on. When your twin appears in your dream, and depending on what you see that's happening, just tune in and really listen to what is this dream trying to teach you about yourself. Okay. Or maybe it's not teaching you anything about yourself, but you and your twin are just connecting with each other in a dream. Dreams are a form of telepathic communication. Okay. Or communication in the 5D. So, whatever is going on, there may be a message for you, and perhaps your twin is having dreams too. Maybe, maybe not, depending on what the universe reveals to your twin. Okay. So sorry, Kath, but no twin flame wants to hear that right now. This is hard enough. You know, I appreciate that you said that, Miss C. The truth sets things free. Okay, that's all I gotta say to Kath. Kath was speaking that, but release it as well. All right, I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. Twin getting married to someone else. I know it's super sensitive. And Missy, I'm sorry, I know you say no one wants to hear it, but I'm going to bring it out for the twins who are experiencing this, okay, who are going through this. This particular person, oh, excuse me, marriage or not, just in a connection, someone else, you know, comes in to serve a lesson. I say serve. I'm trying to find the right word. Their purpose is for teaching lessons, okay? And perhaps before incarnation, this was part of the plan. And so when a twin flame goes through that experience, like a lot of times we look at it from a 3D perspective. Our ego kicks in and says, this is not fair. This is hard. I can't stand this. But our soul knows what was intended to happen. Okay. And you know, they're mentioning having kids with others and stuff. And I know no one wants to hear it. No one wants that manifested. But I'm clearing that for those who are going through that situation. All right. So I want to think of it like if you've been married in the past with a karmic soulmate. I know I was. You guys know I was. Okay. And in that connection, you knew there was something off. You knew that wasn't the person for you. Somewhere deep down, you had a feeling. But perhaps society said you have to be with the person. Religion said so. Your family said so. I don't know what it is. And so you continue, meanwhile, the whole time knowing or feeling that this may not be the connection. When, you know, I'm a believer, there's one truth. There's just one truth. And this is how psychic readers tap into it. Your intuition taps into it. Someone else's intuition will tap into it, because there is one truth. As long as a person is here, has a soul, even if it's shared, right, with twin flames, you have intuition. You can tell. You can tell. You know, in the past, I've met people who are like, I have to let someone know when they're in an awful relationship because they can't see it. No, that is a misconception. Okay. If you have intuition, you are aware. But society, once again, religion, family, all this interferes. And so it blocks your connection with your intuition until you come to a moment where you wake up and realize that your intuition has been right the whole time. So I don't know if any of you experienced it. This is one of the reasons I'm going to share this. This is one of the reasons I say to pray to God. I hope I'm coming through okay. It looks like my internet is low. Oh, it went a little higher. Okay. To pray to God to help you see the truth. And you can do this right now because your twin is you share one soul, okay? Help you see the truth and be aligned with the truth. Ask God to make things clear for you and visible, okay? So you've got to really not look at this person as if they are separated from you, which they are not. And if you have feelings of not being good enough, they're going to choose someone else. I don't know if they're all of this. You've got to take care of that. You've got to take care of it because the universe is right there. You know, I would say the universe is behind my shoulder, in front of me, behind me, and you too, everywhere. And is hearing your thoughts, all of your thoughts. And I'm not saying it to scare you. I'm saying it so that you can really get to know yourself and to heal the insecurities within yourself, because that will help make that connection fizzle off. Okay, very, very important that you're not seeing your twin as someone separated who is making these choices. They chose this and all this kind of stuff, but more like, all right, I'm not going to give it attention. And I'm going to focus on myself and healing myself where I may not fully trust myself and my intuition. And where I have these insecurities. Okay. So I have to mention again my masterclass tomorrow. So we'll talk about how to release these things in your connection. Okay. So I just had to mention that. All right. And yes, thank you. There she is. And this is one of my assistants, Karina's. She just posted the link there to my masterclass. Oh, actually, yep, the link is below. Thank you so much for doing that. And so, do you think twins can be polyamorous? What's your opinion? Ah, okay. Hold on one moment. All right. Ooh, I have heard of this. And it has affected some connections. And usually the way that I see it is that one twin is into the idea and the other is like, I don't think so. Nope. No, thank you. And things like those. Okay. First, the answer is in your inner guidance. It's in your soul lets you know. The other that I realize is this is usually not, if this isn't your connection, okay, this is my observation. Usually the universe does not allow this in the connection. It's like anything that if either one of you are hurting each other still, it complicates the connection. And so that one twin who's like, no, I don't want this. I really want a solid foundation where it's just me and my person. So they have this and they're strong in those beliefs. And they know for sure this is not me. It's not acceptable. And whatever else that's going on within, the universe gets that message, and that twin who is into the whole idea comes to release it. Okay, they go through whatever experience, whatever healing, whatever it is, to break free from that belief and experience that unity, that oneness with their twin. Okay, this has been my observation. And once again, your soul tells you every connection is different. Perhaps there are some twins that's part of their connection, but for the most part, that's what I'm aware of. Okay. In the dream, we were in the mall. I was talking to her and she leaned over and gave me a quick little kiss. Then she leaned back and gave me a more passionate kiss. It felt so real because it was. I just have to say it like it is. Okay. It felt so real. You know, a lot of times I know some people are going to get mad. Maybe some people who don't believe in twin flames, who think twin flames are out here to destroy relationships or whatever the case, are going to get really upset by this. Or the people who are like, this is all delusional. This is, will get upset. It's okay. I'm not here to make folks happy. I'm here to I'm a messenger. And of course, I'd love to make all of you happy, and so on, all of you who truly believe. When it feels so real, it is. So either there's some astral traveling there where you and your twin are connecting this way. They're thinking about you. They're thinking heavily about you. Maybe they're manifesting it, where when you manifest, you feel that feeling. You feel as though it's real. Okay. And so that shows up, or perhaps it's happening in a different dimension. No, not dimension, a different, help me out, time zone or so. These words are I'm not all about these terminologies sometimes, but perhaps it's happening in a different time zone, and you're feeling it, and so on. So there, when it feels so real, that's because it is somewhere. It is. And I stopped talking. Everyone in the mall was gone. And when I woke up, dreams don't interrupt dreams. I'd been chased, shot, and punched in a dream and never interrupted the dream. Okay, got it. I believe she was in that dream. Yep. I can also feel her in my heart chakra. Okay, thank you. This is a good one. It takes a second, but I can tap into it and feel her energy. Feeling her energy is probably the craziest thing for me. I've never felt energy from a person. There you go. Twin flame right there. Twin flames are most connected in the heart chakra, so you would feel it, providing that you don't have health concerns. Okay, so when you feel that heart chakra activation, you're connecting with each other through this. Okay, very different from karmic connections, which are more connected in the sacral chakra. And that's why with karmic connections, there's a lot of like sexual energy, and their connection is really more sexual than anything else, is because of that. But twins are through the heart chakra. So not everyone has intuition. They're soulless. I don't know if okay. I accept your belief. Intuition is very much a part of all of us. Some of us choose to follow it, and some of us choose to ignore it. For whatever reason, I actually did meet a person who was narcissistic. And he did a lot of healing from that. And I'm not taking away from what you said. I'm really not. And he went to therapy, got medication, and all this kind of stuff. And he described it as what was it? He knew he had his good side and his bad side, but his good side was not winning. He couldn't get his good side to win, and things like those. And so I truly get you, where some people are soulless or they seem that way. Trauma can make someone seem that way. They've gone through so much trauma that it's like nothing's there. Their soul, it's like their soul had completely left their body, and so on. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say there. And so Aquarian said, yes, they don't hurt anymore. Okay, not quite sure what that was referring to, but if it doesn't hurt anymore, it means you're healing. All right, and soulless, no one is soulless. That's like saying a cup is cupless. It's a cup. Therefore, it can never be cupless. You're a soul, therefore you can never be soulless. Yeah, it just seems that way with some people when they experience excessive amount of trauma that causes them. And this isn't like these are all phrases, right? These are all what's that word that stands for something? It feels like someone's soul has left their body. Of course, their soul did not leave their body, but you can see that the person is just not present, is not there, because of the experience. So even if you are, it cannot continue. Okay, the poly is 3D, twins are 5D. 5D will rule when you are in union. Yes. Poly is also abnormal and fear-based. Fear cannot thrive in oneness. Poly can't thrive in oneness. Whether it's fear-based, I'm not entirely sure. Again, some people, okay, my intuition said yes. All right, never mind. Scratch that. Go right ahead. Shitsun Angel. Oh, okay. I got it. I was going to say some connections, they're open, they're into the idea and all this kind of stuff. And that's between the two people. But when it comes to this universe and the connection, from what I know, universe is not having it, is usually not having it. Again, everyone's journey is different. I think you meant timelines. Thank you so much, timelines. Yes. So you're sensing that from a different timeline. We got timelines going on all the time. Okay. And you can jump into a timeline that you choose, and so forth. And then once you do that, this is how you quantum leap or quantum shift your reality. You jump into that timeline and you're in that reality, and it comes more into your physical. Okay, so I just gave you something there. I know some of you might be like, all right, I'm going to jump into that timeline where I'm with my twin. By all means, and so on. But it doesn't mean you're focusing on them. It means you're living that reality that includes them in it. And what does it look like for you? Okay, what are you doing? What hobbies are you doing? What does your day look like? And you're making this the reality for you now, instead of saying, oh, when my twin flame comes, then I'm going to, kind of thing. Okay, that's all manifestation right there. And right before I found out he got married, I had a dream he was bathing me in a warm love light, but then he turned around and walked up these stairs almost to heaven, and I cried for days after. That is an interesting dream. That is an interesting dream. So certainly reach out. I'd love to hear more about it. I'm not sure if I put my email down there, but I will share it. And hi, Maria. Thanks for hopping on. So glad you're here. All right. And she's an angel. She's an angel. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Please feel free to correct me. So re soulless, it's not a belief. We have body shells that don't have souls. Walk-in spirits, but walk-in spirits, often we use these bodies. Okay, okay. And San415, challenge with turning down invites from twin flame who has a girlfriend. It's so tempting. Just turned down a trip, and next day, new client has same name and all three initials in name match. All right. What does your soul say? What does your soul say? And if it feels challenging for you, this is a sign of attachment. Yes, you might be like, but it's a strong connection. Yes, it is. This is that double edge from the universe, okay? From the soul or whatever. Maybe I'll upset some people saying it. I went through it myself. The universe is like, all right, we're going to stir up these emotions and make sure that you crave your twin all over again. And now you got to work on not craving him. And I'm like, are you for real? And so on. So yes, it's so tempting, but your intuition is guiding you. And if you fall into a temptation, like, is it that time for that? Is this going to benefit you in the long run? Okay. You get those answers from inside of you. If your answer is don't do it, you've got to figure out how to not do it, because your soul is guiding you. All right. And so I'm referring to the voices of your trauma. Once you accept those things about yourself, it doesn't hurt anymore. You got it. You got it. Absolutely. Thank you for your guidance. You're welcome. And now you are mixing the soul in the body, the soul in not the body. The body is a vessel and some are empty. All right. All right. So this is interesting. This is definitely interesting. And I was thinking I'd like to hear more about that. I'm open to beliefs. I have to admit, I do believe there's a soul in the body. Otherwise, we're standing. Something is making us stand here, is making the body stand. Again, there is that feeling like, or it appears that way, or perhaps it is. Perhaps it is, like you're saying, that the soul had left the body, especially when someone has been through excessive amount of trauma and so on. Okay. All right. And so I believe we covered a majority of it. What I'm hearing is twin flames heal each other when they're around one another. Some of you might be like, I'd love some healing, right? And so there is that healing ability that the energy provides when twins are together. There's that feeling of being complete with the twin flame. And what I mean by this is it's like if you feel like you're not able to get things together, like it's challenging, but your twin comes around and everything seems to fall into place, you complete each other. Okay. Not to say that you're not complete without your twin, but you do. And this is one of the reasons I have noticed that a twin who appears to be running comes back is because of that feeling like being with their twin completes them somehow. Okay. And I used to sweat a lot anytime I was around my twin flame. Oh, yeah, that's the energy, right? Or if it was something else, you let me know. But yes, the energy will do that. Have you found the twins struggle with the fear of their twin dying? Because I do. Yeah. Yeah. That is a fear. How to overcome this fear? The only thing I can say is, and it sounds easier than done, is to surrender. Total complete surrender, and to work on releasing that fear. I went through it myself too, and I could bring up situations that I've heard with some twins. I won't go too much into it, unfortunately, um yeah, but surrendering is my suggestion, just because we truly don't know what tomorrow brings, and to make the most of today. Okay. And trust in the journey, trust how everything unfolds for you, and that everything is unfolding in the best um, way possible. Okay. So I truly get that. I definitely that happens a lot on this journey, and I feel work with those fears, and to also work on releasing them as well. All right. And Maria says I'm more balanced now, surrendered, and he's coming in. Awesome, Maria. And just focus on you and your vibe. Be happy. All right, Maria, can't wait to hear some more. And I'm going to stay excited for you. Okay. And your progress and things like those. Um, yeah, absolutely. And back to twin flames, it's not really healing, but simply oneness. We're not broken. It's an illusion. Dwelling on brokenness keeps us apart, fractured. Um, okay, I totally understand that. From my inner awareness, okay, and this is what comes up in healing sessions. At first, in the beginning, there's healing. When someone is taking a look at their patterns, their fears, and so on, they're healing through those. And then there comes a point when the fears and the triggers are no longer healing. You're not healing, you're ascending. It's like the final of them or some more of them comes up and they're released, perhaps at a faster rate or so, just because you've gone through releasing wounds from early in life, the mother wounds, father wounds, and ancestral wounds, past lifetime, and all this kind of stuff. And now all that's been released, and you're ascending. And so these are the things that I hear. This is my truth. Your truth, everybody, is how you hear it. There are some people who will say there's no healing involved. It's just releasing blocks. Me, I'm like, all right, that's another way of saying healing. But you're healing your connection with yourself. You're not like looking at your twin and trying to heal with them, kind of thing. Okay. It's just the experiences that have held you back in life, that held you back from really enjoying the things that are there for you, in terms of relationships, money, etc. These are the patterns that you're taking a look at and releasing them from your body. All right. And okay. So it was the energy. That energy was so crazy. I wanted to talk to her all the time, but the energy was too much. I was super intimidated too. Yes, this is common with divine masculines. In the connection, whether it's a female or a man, divine masculines, the energy feels so much. I truly believe the divine masculines are more sensitive to the energy, and this is why the feminines are balancing it and working with that energy so the masculine can come in and not feel like, oh, what is this? It's a lot, you know? And I can sense me inside of the other body. I sense just before he calls. Very surreal. Oh, I love it. I'm so glad I did not hop off. Yes, you can. And sometimes you might even feel like you swapped. You might have a moment where you're feeling like you are your twin, and perhaps they feel like they are you, depending on how awake they are. And sometimes you feel like you're looking through your twin's eyes, like you literally are your twin looking through their eyes. Some twin flames do experience seeing what their twin is seeing. Like if their twin's looking at something, they can see that thing their twin is looking at. These are all the different things that happen, right? Okay. And we can't die. Death is simply being alive in the astral realm. NDE. I'm not sure what NDE stands for. Okay. And her as a person is as intimidating as a butterfly, but I had no clue what was going on. This connection had me dealing with a lot. I get it. I get it. Hello, I went from thinking about him all the time to not thinking about him much. Okay, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. I'd love to, maybe have a live on that. Why is it important to not think about your twin much? I like to bring it down to make it make sense in 3D. I do. That's just me. So you can understand it. You're healing codependency. You're healing obsessive thinking and worrying. When you're constantly thinking about that person, you're going to always worry. So when you find that you're really worried, it's because you're thinking too much of them. So that is actually a good thing. Many of us believe that connection is meant to be experienced where we're daydreaming about the person. Ask yourself, when has daydreaming ever worked for you? I'll wait. When has it worked for you? It hasn't. And so you bring them off the cloud down on earth and think more of yourself, and the connection feels so much easier that way. Especially with your divine masculine, it feels easier. All right. And yes, okay, yes. The swapping happened early on for me, especially in dreams. I knew he was being intimate with someone else. That stuff is painful. That stuff hurts. Okay. If you've never experienced it, then I wish you never do. I had one time experience with that, and it sent me through the roof. I was a mess for days and stuff. And so many people have that experience. And when I went through it in the past, I understood, and I was like, you know what? That stuff hurts. Okay. Okay. Appreciate your work. You have helped me in this end game. He is here to stay. Thank you. You welcome. And I don't like the swapping. It makes me attracted to women. I'm not into that. Also, I know when he's with another, I know he's now abstaining, just like me now. Okay. And that's the other thing too. So I'm going to end it with this. You know about each other without having a conversation, without coming around each other. You just sense things, right? Twin flames, it's incredible. It's like how much you know, and even coming together with the person, and you each can know about each other without any words, and so on. Definitely happens. And I started at the grocery store once and we didn't speak, so I went back there the next week, and at the same time, and she was there again. We hugged and talked. We kept going back at the same time. That is the universe. And you can surely speak on that. I went through it myself. The universe was like, go to the store, go to the store, go to the store. And there was not enough signs of that. And the message will come through someone else. You need to go to the store. Can you go to the store and get me this? And all this kind of stuff. Or maybe there's that pull. Oh, I love it. This is another twin flame thing. Feeling that pull to go somewhere. feeling like your twin is present, like you show up somewhere and you're like, why do I feel their presence? You're a twin popping up under a fake name, social media, right? Okay. But when you come across that name, you feel like it's your twin calling you. Perhaps it's like um a call where you don't know who's calling you, or text you with an unidentified name, but something makes you feel like it's your twin. It's your twin. Okay. Just can't hide. It's like the connection is so intense, you really can feel it. All right. So thanks for clarifying near death experience. And hello, the last time I spent time with my twin flame, I didn't know if I was hearing him actually speak or hearing his thought. At some point, it tripped me out. There you go. Yes, you were hearing him speak or you were hearing his thoughts. Either way, you were hearing him. This is a very strong connection, guys. It really is. And there's so much that goes on. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing this. And I hope some of you who didn't know it was a thing, you know now. You're like, oh, I went through that. Is that what that was? Or if you experience it later on, you'll remember this live session and you're like, Sheen said something about that, right? Or someone on the here had expressed it too. All right, so this was wonderful. Take care, everyone. Again, the link to register for the masterclass is below, and I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.